Good evening, everybody. It's wonderful to see you all here again. Thank you for coming. I wanted to make a comment about next week's class. Hi, Victor Gabriel. Okay, so next Saturday night, I think the clocks go back here where I live in Spain. They've changed the clocks. But I'm also going to change the time of the class. And it's going to work in the following way. If the time does not change where you live, then the time will be exactly the same. If you live in a place where they change the clocks, then next week the class will be an hour earlier. So, for example, if you live in France, the class will be an hour earlier. If you live in India, it will be at the same hour. If you live in Saudi Arabia, it will be at the same hour. Ooh, so we're starting to get some answers as well. So let's see. Good evening, Kenji. Good evening, Victor Gabriel again. Good evening again, Hussein. Hi, Cheese String. And Vitalia, that's wonderful. Warmed up. Lolly, warmed up. And Isa, good to see you. Okay, so let's start. I will say this again. So no, it will be 7 p.m. English time next week. Yeah, but you'll find that 7 p.m. English time, if your clock doesn't change, will be 8 p.m. English time. So I'm actually, if you look at the sun, I'm not changing the time. Okay. So let's see. Good evening, Mayoko. Good evening, Rohoni, and good to see you, Boyka. Okay, so let's get down to this class. Let's rock and roll. So you look like you have a terrible hangover. You look really ill. You look like death, and as Vitalia and Lolly said, warmed up, not warmed over. Wait a second, Hussein. Yes, you're right, and I have to talk about that. In British English, we say warmed. I mean, capitals up, but in the US, as Hussein has put it, they say warmed over. Yeah, so you look like death warmed up, or the Americans say you look like death warmed over. Yeah, so that's it, Manjira. To me as a Brit, it's warmed up, but as Hussein says in American English, warmed over, and that's also valid. Okay, so this phrase, you look like death warmed up. You look absolutely terrible. Yeah, go back to bed. Yeah, you look like death warmed up. So yes, if you've been out to a party and you've got a terrible hangover, the next morning you're really going to look like death warmed up. To warm up is to heat again. So I made a really nice lunch yesterday, and there's a little bit left, so I could warm it up for your supper if you wanted. Yeah, to reheat, to warm up. Okay, so we got the next one here. To accept or confront the unpleasant consequences of one's actions. To face the, well done, Sandeep, and Vitalia and Javi. Okay, this is when you do something really bad at work, and well done, Elena and Lolly, and the boss calls you into the office, and you have to face the music. Face the music. Yeah, it's time to face the music, to accept the consequences of what you've done. Yeah. Face the music is unforgettable. Yeah, it's not always very nice to have to face the music, but that's the way things go. Yeah. Okay, so yes, to face the music. It's time to face the music. One day we are going to have to face the music about global warming. Well, probably if I'm lucky, it won't be me. It'll be my grandkids instead. Well, that's not so good though, is it? So to face the music. Okay, the next one. A person who is friend. That's okay, Cheese String. I'll see you again next week, maybe. A person who is friendly and helpful only when it is advantageous or convenient for them is a ooh. That's very close, Count Beauty, as Javi put it, as Sandeep and Vitaly put it. So, fair weather, a fair weather friend. This is the phrase. Yeah, so its convenient form is a fair weather friend. Whoops, T-H-E-R. So when the sun is shining, they're a good friend. So that's very good. Good evening, Manu. So let's see. Yes, a fair weather friend, Manjira. Okay, as Rahoni puts it, a fair weather friend in need of friend is a fair weather friend. A friend in, well, yeah, a fair weather friend. You don't really want fair weather friends, because when things get bad, your fair weather friends are going to desert you. Yeah, they're going to leave you in the lurch. That's a great phrase. To leave somebody in the lurch. Yeah, is to abandon them when they really, really need help, or they need they need people, they need something to help them. So, Sandeep, grievance. Good evening, George Washington. Nice to see you. So, this a friend in need, a friend in need is a friend indeed. So, let's see. Stolen goods are often said to have fallen off. To fallen off what? What's this phrase? To fall off. To fall off. Yes, yes. I like that. You're always really good at these, Vitaly. Yeah. So we'll wait and see if we get a few more people in with answers to this. I think it sounds like it's just going to be you, Vitaly, on this one. So, said to have fallen off the back of a lorry. Okay, if something has fallen off the back of a lorry, it means it's stolen. Off the back of a lorry, that's the idea, Javi. So the policeman says to you, where did you get this? And you say, well, it fell off the back of a lorry. I was walking down the street and this bottle of whiskey fell off the back of a lorry. So a lorry drove past and it fell off the back. Okay, wherewithal, the intelligence, the enough money, enough of many different things. Yeah? Okay, so to fall off the back of a lorry, if something's, yes, it could be truck in the US as well, very definitely. It's fallen off the back of a truck. It's fallen off the back of a lorry. Okay, so, technically means practically, in a practical way. Nora, I've been thinking about your technical video, but I find it very difficult to get motivated for it. But I will try and make it. So, ooh, a nap or siesta is sometimes called 40. So, a winkle, believe it or not, Count Beauty, is a little animal that you find on the rocks that you can boil, and they taste really nice. But the answer to this one is 40 winks. So when you wink, you shut one eye to wink. When you shut both eyes, it's to blink. So 40 winks is a nap. Yeah. After a good lunch, I really, really like to have 40 winks. If I don't get my 40 winks, I'm very bad-tempered. Good evening, Tash. So, we've got lots of people who got this right. Javi, Vitalia, Manjira, Elena, Sandy, Nixim, and, well, let's try the next one then. The next one's nice and easy. Or maybe it's difficult because the clue's not so easy. So don't decide right now. Keep an a winkle. It's a small. Winkles are very tasty. Yeah, I have a feeling that you don't have winkles in Brazil, Victor Gabriel. Yeah, Vitaly is good, isn't he? So winkles are really tasty. You find them on the rocks round here. Yeah, a winkle. You even have a winkle picker, which has got a really sharp point, because these little shells, you have to use a pin to put them in. So keep an eye open is slightly different, Habib. Keep your eyes open, keep them peeled, keep watching. But no, as Vitaly said, keep an open mind. An open mind. So if you keep an open mind, you don't decide, you decide later. Yeah? Keep an eye on it, watch it. Keep your eyes open. No, not keep your eye on it. Keep an open mind. Because if you keep your eye on it, you're just watching it. Yeah. Okay. Succinct answers. That's a good phrase. But yes, you keep an open mind. Don't decide now. Keep your mind open. And like that, you can decide at a later date. Yeah. So you really need to keep your mind open. Contamination, Boyka. It means polluted. It's got something bad in it. So the water in the sea is contaminated by all sorts of things. The Japanese nuclear plant, Fukushima, is contaminating the sea. Yeah? Our rivers are contaminated. Huh. Out of sight, out of mind. Ooh, well done, Count Beauty. Yeah, you got one. So you soon forget people or things that are no longer present. Well, okay. That's a good idea, Lolly, but it's out of sight, out of mind. That's it, Elena and Vitaly. So, Tom K, out of sight, out of mind. Mangira, good. Hubby, good. And Nora as well. Out of sight, out of mind. So this means if you can't see it, you don't think about it. Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. That's it, Victor Gabriel. So, pursuance, Sandy. Pursuance. In pursuance of my job, I am writing to you. So, out of sight, out of mind. These are things that don't you can't see, so you don't think of them. That's the idea, Nichthims. So I'm eager to hear what you have to say. I'm all escapades. I think I've got a video on escapades. An escapade is an adventure. That's it, Lolly. Well done. And Victor Gabriel and Count Beauty. Yes, and Lolly. Yeah, an escapade is an adventure when you do something. Well done, Elena and Javi and Vitaly. So, I'm eager to hear what you say. I really want to hear what you've got to say. I'm all ears. I'm listening. I'm listening very carefully to what you have to say. Yeah? So, I'm all ears. So, I guess you are all ears during class. Contaminate, adulterate. I really like that definition. Hussein, good evening, Ein Rock fan. Nice to see you back. Ears is correct. And Manu, ears is correct. And Nick Thims, ears is correct. That's great. Yeah, so are you all ears? I'm all a quiver. I quite like that. I think that would actually probably work. I'm all a quiver. I'm trembling to hear what you have to say. Yeah. What you don't know can't hurt you. Out of sight, out of mind. Woof. Okay. So, okay, that works as well. So, wait a minute. Be patient. Do not act yet. Hold on. Yeah, that works. And what did Elena say here? And Javi, yes. Hold your horses. Not hold on your horses, Elena. Just hold your horses. Your horses. Yeah? So, hold your horses. That's it, Nora. Yeah, the hold on works as well. Hold your horses. That's good. Hold your horses. So don't be so impatient. Just hold your horses. Yeah, hold your horses. Don't act yet. It's better to wait for a little bit. Yeah, you just need to hold your horses just for a few minutes. Okay, yeah, so hold your horses and the next question will be right with you. Yeah, don't decide now. Be patient and hold your horses. Yeah, okay. So this next one, I'm glad you got that one, Lolly. That's really good. So if someone swears and they want to apologise for their profane words, sometimes they say, "Pardon my French." Absolutely. So Lolly got that one. Vitaly, Javi, Elena, Mangira. So can what be used in the past, as in pardon my French? No, this pardon my French, this is something you should say immediately after swearing when you think people are upset. Yeah? Not he pardoned my French. So it's excuse me for swearing. Yeah, that's the phrase. You could even say it before you swear as well. So, well done, Sarakan. And pardon my profanity, it works, but we say pardon my French. That's it, Hussein and Victor Gabriel. Pardon my bad, pardon my mistake. It works, but pardon my French. Nick Thims, pardon my French. Absolutely. Sandeep and Ein Rockfan. Why French though? Because the traditional enemy of the British are the French. For hundreds of years the British were fighting against the French and against the Dutch. So we've got lots of things that insult the French, insult the Dutch. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, profane. Profane is rude, is something that people don't want to hear. It's unholy. Profanity. You could profane a tomb, for example. So, Manu, well done. A patient cow drinks most milk. I like that. Okay, it's because of years of rivalry between the French and the Italy. Yeah, you're right, Lolly, but the British are not kind to the French. Generally, the British are pretty horrible about the French. Okay. In Russian, it's also French. That's interesting, George Washington. Okay, so let's leave this, and I think it's time, whoops, for the story. So, yeah, let's see. Today's story is called God and the Snake. Yeah, it's called God and the Snake. Okay, so it's about a snake, yeah, and effectively this snake goes to talk to the god. The French and the British nowadays, nothing else, hey? Yeah, you're right. Okay, so God and the snake. We've got a couple of questions. Why was the snake unhappy? What solution did God suggest? And what is the moral to the story? No, not time to end yet, Victor Gabriel. I know you're having fun, but it's still too soon. We've got another 15 minutes or so. This story is quite short. A crawling snake who had been stepped on by many people made his way to the temple and went inside. The snake then complained to God, saying that people were always stepping on him. God immediately explained to the snake, "If you had simply killed the first person who stepped on you, no one would ever have dared step on you again." The British has behaved really badly all over the world. I quite agree with you. I personally like to apologise. So, God and the snake. Why was the snake unhappy? What solution did God suggest? And what's the moral to the story? Let me read it again. A crawling snake who had been stepped on by many people made his way to the temple, to the church, to the mosque, to the synagogue, and went inside. The snake then complained to God, saying that people were always stepping on him. God immediately explained to the snake, if you had simply killed the first person who stepped on you, no one would ever have dared to step on you again. So, Lolly, yes, that's great. That's a good start. The snake's unhappy because people step on him. And Sandeep, the snake was unhappy because many people stepped on him. But that's great. That's really good. Good English, Lolly. Good English, Sandeep. So maybe you guys want me to read it one more time because it's short and easy. A crawling snake who had been stepped on by many people made his way to the temple and went inside. The snake then complained to God, saying that people were always stepping on him. God immediately explained to the snake, if you had simply killed the first person who stepped on you, no one would ever have dared to step on you again. So, let's see, Manu. The snake was unhappy because the people always stepped on it. Great. Simply kill. That's the answer. That's the answer to number two, Tom. Lolly. God suggested that he kill the first person to step on him. So, normally, Lolly, we don't use suggest to. We normally use suggest that plus a present subjunctive. God suggested that he kill the first person to step on him. Ein Rockfan. The snake was unhappy because the people always stepped on him. Good English. Suggests makes it better, Lolly. Mr. Irons. The moral is, you should take a stand, then others will respect you. Good moral, Mr. Irons. Manu. God suggests to kill just the first person who stepped on him. So, God suggests that the snake kill the first person who stepped on it. So notice, suggest that somebody do something. That's quite a construction. Yeah? And Javi, moral, fight fire with fire. That's a good moral. I love it. And Boyka, the snake was unhappy because people were always stepping on him. Rahoni, God suggested that he kill the first person to step on the snake. Bothered by the stampede, the snake was clueless. Okay. The snake was awfully dejected as it had been stepped on by a plethora of people. Good English. Nick Thims. God suggested that the snake should have killed the first person which stepped on him, and then no one would ever have dared step on him again. Good English, Nick Thims. Okay, Elena. The snake was unhappy because people were constantly stepping on him. God explained that the snake had to kill the first person who stepped on him. Yes, he had to. I think, Elena, the snake should have stepped, but what you've written is perfectly good and it's good English. Boyka. So, he suggested that the snake kill one person and no one would step on him anymore. Marshall, to stop people from taking advantage of you. Yeah. So, Victor Gabriel, it was unhappy because people were always stepping on him. God said, if you had simply killed the first person who stepped on you, no one would dare to step on you again. That's good. Lolly, moral. The law of the strongest is always the best. Thank you. And George Washington. This is how License to Kill was introduced. Yes. Okay, Count Beauty. The snake was stepped on Beauty, by people. So it made the snake down. That's good. God suggested to kill. God suggested that the snake kill a person, that it will prevent others from stepping on it again, stepping again on it. The moral is always look after number one. That's good. So Nora, I don't know why, but this story conjures up a line mouthed by Angelina Jolie in her movie, The Changeling. Never start a fight, but always finish it. Well, it's not irrelevant, totally. It's good English as well, Nora. Sandeep, the god suggested to the snake, if he simply kills, I'm going to accept that, the first person who stepped on him, then nobody will dare to step on him again. Okay, that's good, Sandeep. Manu, moral, sometimes it is enough. I've lost it, it moved. Sometimes it is enough, only one example, because people, or the people, learn about something. That's good. Ooh, Lizzie, good evening. Peace is not always the way. That's great, Lizzie. And David Lutz, the snake knew whom to ask for proper advice. Notice, David, advice is uncountable, therefore for proper advice. Manjira, the snake was unhappy for being trodden on by the people. All and sundry. I like that, all and sundry. God suggested that he should have terminated the first person. Suggested that he should have terminated. I love it. Manjira. Ein Rock fan. The moral is you have to stop bad things from the beginning. Not since, but from the beginning. Okay, Elena, moral. Never show your weak sides to others. Okay, that's great. Good English. Satish, moral. Many things depend only on you. You keep the solution to your problems in your own hands. Good. Good evening, Danielle. So, it's good to have you. Better late than never. Boyka, sometimes you have to go through bad things in order to be respected by others. Good English, Boyka. Renyard, people stepped on the snake. God suggested neutralizing the offenders. Not suggested neutralizing the offenders. The moral is never suffer a minuscule insult. Always fight back and everything's gonna be fine. Tom K, moral, take your stand and don't let people use you as a mere means, but hopefully not so far as killing. That's a good moral, Tom. Sandeep, the moral is kill the chicken to frighten the monkey. I love the way you put it. Love yourself first, Mr. Irons. That's pretty good as well. And per se, of itself, exactly. God suggested that the snake kill. He suggested that the snake kill. He suggested that the snake kill. The first person who stepped on him, as it would create an air of fear among the other people. Good. Renyard, obviously the god of the story is not the Christian one. Yeah. Ein Rock fan. In the original Renyard it says Apollo, but I thought Apollo might have been a bit problematic. Ein Rock fan. God said that he should have killed the first person who stepped on him. He should have killed who stepped on him, Ein Rock fan. Victor Gabriel, people only learn how to be careful when something bad happens to them. That's so true, and the English is great. Here. Nora, the moral can be, instead of yelling and complaining, the man has to stand up for himself, otherwise no one else will. Good. Renyard likes this angry god. Moyoko, make sushi out of snakes. Yummy. I'm sure snake sushi is delicious. Tastes just like eel snake does. Okay, so let's see. Here, the story's created a lot of debate. That's good. Sandy, better late than never. Well, if you arrive late, it's better than never arriving. Yeah, I think that YouTube have all sorts of problems with the stream today, um, because people are coming in and going out and coming in, and it's giving me really weird statistics. So let me paste this story here so we can actually see the words. Yeah, and this goes here. So good. Okay, in a second we'll see it. Good evening, Sergeant. Okay, I'm glad to hear the stream is okay. Yeah, it looks okay again now. So, a crawling snake. It's not appeared yet. It will appear any second now. Yeah, I'm sorry about the quality of the stream today. But this time it's not me. I'm certain it's YouTube. So, a crawling snake, crawling along the ground, who had been stepped on by many people, went to the temple and went inside. The snake then complained to God, saying that people were always stepping on him. God immediately explained to the snake, "If you had simply killed the first person who stepped on you, no one would ever have been brave enough to step on you again." In this case, George Washington, yes it is. I stream on YouTube every Sunday night. Yeah? Okay, so Sherwin, better late than never, every Sunday. So let's see. I just want to explain. So he suggested walking. He suggested that I walk. He suggested that she walk. Whoops. So, to suggest that somebody, verb in present subjunctive. And that's the idea. To suggest that somebody do something. Devour Sandeep. Yes, something can happen, but normally every Sunday. So I suggest that he be here at 4 o'clock. I suggest that he be here at 4 p.m. So notice this, he be. This is a present subjunctive. Know that she walk. To make your present subjunctive, you don't add an s. Present subjunctive is the infinitive of the verb. Okay, you could use, okay, you could use should as well. He suggested that she should walk. That works very nicely as well. He suggested that she should walk. That's another way of doing it. S-H-O-U, one extra O. Yes, okay, that works as well. Very nicely. Okay, so notice this construction. Okay, that was a little bit of grammar because you were all clearly having problems with it. So let's just try a few questions to go out on. So give me the name of a legendary hero. Yes, exactly, Danielle. I recommend he take one test at a time. That's a perfect example, Danielle. Give me the name of a legendary hero. Give me the name of a legendary hero. Give me the name of a legendary hero. Robin Hood, that's very good, Lolly. I like that. Thor, that's great. That's a great answer, Tom K. Yeah, and Nelson Mandela. Okay, he's a real hero. And Manu, Achilles. That was very good, Manu. Yeah, so yeah. Okay, that's complex grammar. Heracles, yes, that's great, Count Beauty. Hercules from David Lutz, and Achilles from Arash. Yeah. And Maharana Pratrap. I don't know, but I'll have to look that up afterwards. Beowulf, I love it, Satish. Hercules, Steve Harris. So, Marshall Vidal, Jesus or Shakespeare, Prometheus, Tom Cruise. I like Gabriel Zeus as well. Okay, let's have another one. Describe the taste of seawater. Describe the taste of seawater. Describe the taste of seawater. Yeah, describe the taste of seawater. Yeah, describe the taste of seawater. Describe the taste of seawater. Salty, good. That's very good. That's Osiris Ashvin. That's great. Salty, Victor. Salty, Count Beauty. Lolly, very salty. Tom K. Sandeep, Elena. Ein Rockfan. Danielle, Boyka. Nora. Arash. Sandeep. Sour. Sour is vinegar, Boyka. And Renyard, salty. Seawater tastes salty. Not very good. Seawater is salty, Manu. And Tash, salty. George Washington. Seawater tastes like blood, a little bit. And Manjira says Ulysses. And Ein Rockfan says too salty. I like that word saline, Nick Sims. Rather salty for my taste. Yes, very definitely. Oh, I like that. Julian Assange. That's a good answer as well. Okay, so, yes, Sherwin, salty. Brackish, that's a really good word, Hussein. Brackish means slightly salty, so brackish water, salty water. Burns your eyes as well. So, sour, Sandeep. Brackish, piquant. Briny, that's another good word, Hussein. Does it taste fishy? Maybe. Bitter? No. Saline? Definitely. Sour rhymes with power. Brinish. Abhinav. That's a good word. Okay, so I think it's probably a good point for us to stop today. I wanted to tell you that next week's class is that we have a problem, or I have a problem. Shower, Sandeep, because the time changes here where I live in Spain. But let's see, I'm going to change the time of the class for next week's class. So this is how it works. If your clocks move next Saturday night, then the class will be an hour earlier. If they don't change your clocks, like in Brazil or in Saudi Arabia or in India, then the time will be exactly the same. Okay? So, thank you all very much, and I will see you all next week. Yes, so your time's not going to change, and the time of your class is not going to change, Victor Gabriel, as I said. Let's see, Sandeep. For you, if you're in India, I think the time the time of the class will not change. The time of the class only changes for people who have whose time changes. So thank you very much indeed, all of you, and I will see you all next week. Take care. Thank you. Brilliant work. Bye bye.